Hello and welcome to Show Up Stand Out online visibility series for entrepreneurs. My name is Julia Stapleton. I'm a visibility strategist, and today my guest is a fellow social media marketer, Sabrina Torres. Hi, Sabrina.
Hello.
And
Thanks
Sabrina is on a mission. Hi, how are you? Sorry, I'm talking over you. But Sabrina is on a mission to help businesses and solopreneurs to shine their light, as I like to say, and be more visible online using video and social media in general. But I think Sabrina should talk about this, what she does herself. So I'm going to pass over the baton. Sabrina, how did you end up doing what you're doing, and what exactly do you do for the businesses?
All right. Thank you so much for having me. So I basically got started in all of this when I was getting a divorce, and I had no skills to speak of. I had 3 kids. I had no way to support them. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I put myself back in school, and I said, by the day I graduate, I need to have my own business. I knew I would never go in an office and work. That was not going to be the life
Good
for me.
Decision.
And all of my kids have disabilities. So I knew that a traditional job was not going to happen. So I put myself in school, and I just started researching, and I kind of stumbled across social media marketing when I was working with a small film company. And I thought, oh my God, this is a job. People get paid to be on social media and do social media for businesses. So I was just very excited that that was even a thing. And I ended up just diving deep and doing a ton of research. And the day I graduated, I started my own business. And then because I'd been working in documentary film, it sort of naturally progressed where I started doing my own videos. And I started the 60-second social media tip series, and it completely blew up my business.
Brilliant. This is actually something that I want to talk about because, for me, a lot of people, it's very difficult to even go over this idea of being live or being on video. And was it natural to you? Did you have any demons you had to face?
Oh, it was so not natural to me. People always tell me, you're such a natural, you look so at ease. It was not natural. So I was working in film. I was actually doing sound. I am behind the scenes. I did not want to be in front of the camera, but I had the skill set, and I had somebody with a camera ready to film me, and I knew it could make a difference for my business. So I decided to just write a little script. I thought if it's very scripted and highly edited, I could deal with it. The first video, you would not guess this, but it took me 3 separate days, 3 days, 3 separate tries of filming. And a shot of Fireball may have been involved at one point, just to help with the nerves because I was just a mess. But the final product ended up being so good. And just the more you do it, the easier it gets.
That's so true. I think a lot of people compare themselves to those who do this all the time. And funny, I look at my videos. Even guys, if you're my personal friend and you can go into the video section on my Facebook profile, you will see if you scroll down how the big difference between the videos this time last year and what's happening now. Because it's like a muscle. It's like anything. It's practice makes perfect. Now I didn't have a cameraman and with professional camera to help me at least look good. But I do remember the situation where I had to do a scripted video for another business, and it took me days. And you know what? It's so horrible. I don't bring it up. It's still out there. It's still in the public, but I'm looking at it and thinking, oh my God. And I couldn't even speak. I had to read off the piece of paper, and now I can speak. You have to stop me, in fact. Otherwise, so that's my next question. How do you structure your videos to fit in just 60 seconds? Because I think it's a brilliant idea, 60 seconds. A lot of people don't have time. And as one of my clients said to me before, she said, oh, I'm really glad you did the 2 minutes video because I was checking how long the video is. I don't have time to watch 20 minutes, 40 minutes video. And so 60 seconds is a brilliant tip. How did you organize that? How do you structure that? Tell me more about it.
I actually initially thought it had to be 60 seconds because I wanted to use the same video across all platforms. And Instagram, you couldn't have a longer than 60-second video at the time. So it was 60 seconds. And what I ended up doing is basically just coming up with different, really simple topics and almost doing, you know how in school you grow up and you learn like an intro, 3 points, and an ending? That's how I do my videos. If you watch really closely, for the most part, I do a quick intro, I make 3 simple points, and then I'm out. So I ended up just writing the scripts down and then saying them out loud over and over again and timing myself. And I actually make it so that I speak a little longer than a minute because I edit very quickly. I do quick jumps in the edit. So it's not as natural as if I were speaking. Like, it's not me taking deep breaths and all of that. So if you watch my videos, they're very quickly edited. And sometimes, you know, we end up having to take things out, and, you know, because the pacing is hard to get if you're trying to cut it to only a minute. But if you take the time to prep beforehand, you can definitely get it down to a time that you want.
Would you have like a tip for somebody like me who is just like talking? Then when I come to editing, I can't edit because I talk nonstop. So there is no pause. How do you deal with that? You know, do you make sure that you stop after every point, or how do you deal with that you know that this is going to be edited?
Right. So I basically spoke a sentence or two at a time. I would read it, and then I'd look at the camera, say a couple sentences. And one of the tricks I actually learned is smile before, smile after, so that editing is simpler and easier, because you don't want to edit something where your mouth is open at the end of a sentence. So say a sentence, smile. Say a sentence, smile. And that way you can edit it pretty easily without, you know, cutting yourself off.
And are you using any fancy tools that's hard to learn, or are you using any online tools that anybody could use for editing the videos?
So there are different tools that you can use. I have to say I have upgraded at this point and probably use things that are not necessary for someone just starting out. But I definitely I've used several tools that are either free or very, very low monthly cost that pretty much have very little learning curve. I mean, even if you have, you know, a Mac using iMovie, it's simple enough. You can do it.
That's true. Any online tools you can recommend for the starters?
My favorite is Filmora.
Filmora. Okay, perfect. Yes, we've heard about it, and I'll put a link to it. So tell me, you talking about the video, there's something that you also brought to the audience. So I want to know, as your gift, and I want to know what it is and where can they get this?
So I have a 7-day kind of DIY video challenge where I take you through the steps that I take when creating a video, and it's spread out over 7 days, and every day you get an email in the morning and you can go through the steps. So everything from how to write the script, how to pick a topic, to lighting, sound, actually filming and editing, and then even distribution. Since I'm a social media marketer, I had to kind of give my little tips on how to put it out into the world so that you get the most attention. And so this is a completely free little challenge for everybody. And I believe I gave you the link for it, but it's a bit.ly link.
Yeah, the link will be in the description. So that's very interesting because it's a different type of video. It's not just to take you out of your shell and start doing videos. It's about editing, which is fantastic because if you're new to editing your videos, this is probably a great place to start, you know, and to see how you can deal with that. Just because you're a social media manager and marketer, can you tell me what's your favorite social media network and why?
Oh, it changes. Right now I have to say LinkedIn because that is where I get 90% of my clients, so I'm very fond of it. But for more just fun, I enjoy Instagram.
Okay, interesting. I have a question about LinkedIn because LinkedIn used to be such a suits sort of network, you know, a boring suits corporate, you know. I personally had like a big dislike. However, recently I went back on LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn is definitely changing. It's changing as a platform. It's becoming much more kind of like Facebook, so more social. What are your strategies on LinkedIn? You know, are you, is it like are you corporate on it, or, you know, and serious? Or do you allow yourself to be personal, have some fun? What's your personal?
Look at me. I'm not exactly corporate.
That's what I was thinking.
Myself, I'm a little more I mean, I'm not as goofy, I think, on LinkedIn as I am on, say, Facebook, but I'm myself 100%. And I think, honestly, what I've found is that when I do connect with people who are more corporate, they actually love this. They think I'm a kick, and they like seeing something different, you know, and they can tell when you're being authentic, and they enjoy seeing something that doesn't blend in with the crowd, because they, as a social media marketer, they also will recognize that I know how to make them stand out from the crowd. And one of the things that I would really encourage people to do is get on LinkedIn and start using video, because it's still being very underutilized there. The last video I did there got over 4,000 views with hundreds of likes and I think like 50 something comments. I mean, you're not going to get that unless, you know, on Facebook or something, unless you have a crazy big audience and do something that's more like,
yes, an engaged audience as well. And don't forget,
yeah.
on LinkedIn, everybody's a professional. So whereas on Facebook, there's a lot of people who are cheering you up. They have no intention to do any business. You know, they're there. Maybe they're there even to learn about something about business. But Facebook in terms of client attraction is probably not the top network. You know, although I live on Facebook, this is my crib. You know, that's where I connect. We can connect maybe a little bit better because Facebook groups are working better than LinkedIn groups. But I find that LinkedIn, it definitely is recognizing the authentic sides of us. And we shouldn't be pretending what we're not, or trying to be, you know, to fit into something like how you should be in business. Be yourself. And at the end of the day, people sort of fall in love with you first, and they do business with you. Isn't that true? Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this. This was Sabrina Torres, the social media marketer, and we were talking about the video. We were talking about her 7-day free video challenge that you can take if you click on the link in the description of this video. And if you want to connect to Sabrina, where can we connect with you?
I'm at Be Truly Social pretty much everywhere.
Perfect. Excellent. So look her up and send her a friend request. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Sabrina, thank you so much for being my lovely guest. And I will see you in another episode of Show Up, Stand Out. See you later, guys. Bye, everybody.